I'm Ryan Scott. I'm the pastor here at Newman United Methodist Church in Grants Pass. And tonight was our Grants Pass annual Martin Luther King Jr. community celebration. I'm so glad to see you all here today.
We are gentle and good people, and we are singing. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Oh, I tell you, this is amazing for me.
Hello, my name is Dr. Geneva Craig, and I am a nurse. I still work on call at Asante.
I'm Mary Luizzo Lilleboe. I live in Grants Pass, Oregon, and I'm here tonight to celebrate MLK Day with Geneva.
Well, we were invited to come and speak here at Grants Pass to celebrate Dr. MLK Jr.'s Day. This is a holiday, and we were in shock that we got invited to come here and speak tonight.
Dr. King studied with Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi was a man of nonviolence.
That courage it takes to be nonviolent in that, I think, speaks to many people because we feel that frustration and that anger, and channeling it into the work of love and justice instead of the work of hate can change the world.
And I converted to nonviolence. But that took a lot. That took courage. When they would put us in the jails, I couldn't strike back at the policemen who were counterparting us, beating us with billy clubs and trying to break our spirit.
Working for civil rights and furthering equality for people, how is it different today than it was in the 1960s?
I don't think that the job is that much harder or easier, but we do have the treasure of working together.
Once you got rid of segregation, people from all facets could come together.
Pre-Dr. King, we probably could not have sat in this church together. My mother went to Alabama in 1965 to participate in the voters' rights demonstrations, and she was murdered by the Ku Klux Klan. That was a common fear in 1965, and to some extent, it's not abolished, but to some extent, that is not the same.
The severity has changed. Like you said, we could not be in this church together.
People were afraid to walk out their doors.
And look at how many bombings have you heard about people homes being bombed?
Right.
You know, we don't hear about that. How many crosses have been burned in the yard lately?
Well, gosh, up to 1970 right here in Grants Pass.
Yeah, but now we're in 1923. Yeah. When was the last time y'all burned a cross?
One of the questions I get asked most since I started doing this is, why did your mom go to Selma? I have decided that the question isn't why wasn't my mother there, but why wasn't everybody there?
When I came along, the predominant color was black with a sprinkling of white. Then, as time went on, the colors of white increased, like when we marched on the Capitol in Montgomery. When George Floyd was killed, people all over the world was painting murals of George Floyd. I read where they even had his mural and they were honoring him in Bethlehem. And when you saw the people marching, you saw rainbows of colors. Rainbows. It wasn't predominantly white, it wasn't predominantly black, it wasn't predominantly yellow or red. It was a rainbow of colors. Oh, that's a big difference. A huge difference from when I came along.
You two seem to have a great friendship, and I wanted to know how you guys had met and come to be collaborators in this work.
Her mother was my shero. And did you tell them how we got to know one another?
I did. I told them that we're on the front page in an article on MLK Day. Because of what happened with my mother and my mother's work in Selma, I was familiar with people like Geneva.
And you picked up the telephone. I
picked up the phone and called the newspaper and said, please, I would like to get in touch with this woman. And I called her, and I said to her, I'm Mary Luizzo Lilleboe, and she says, I know why you're calling me. I know who you are, and I know who your mother was. And then we started going out and doing talks and things together.
And I let her know her mother was my shero.
Glory, hallelujah, we shall
honored to have Dr. G here and Mary. I thought that their talks and the questions they answered were timely and needed for us to hear tonight.
How did you get involved here at the church? How long have you been doing this?
I've been here at Newman 3.5 years, and in the Methodist system we get assigned by our bishop, so I was assigned here and had some apprehension going into Grants Pass. Being an Oregon native, I kind of knew the town's reputation, and being the first out gay pastor in Grants Pass, there was some hesitation to it, but the church here has been a place of hospitality and welcome and inclusion, not just on LGBTQ stuff, but racial justice, disability awareness, and the list can go on.
You're the very first openly gay pastor here at this church?
Yes.
And in Grants Pass in general?
As far as I know, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the congregation's been extremely welcoming. There's other LGBTQ members in the church, and that segment of our population continues to grow as we become more and more inclusive and welcoming. And overall, the community's also been very welcoming. You know, there's road bumps here and there, and certainly people that don't like that I'm here and doing what I'm doing, but you just treat them with love. Having events like this where people come together is so important. People get to hear different perspectives, and they get to hear from stories from inspiring speakers like Dr. G, who can challenge us and inspire us to keep moving forward, even when we've faced a history of challenge here in Southern Oregon.
I've seen a dramatic increase in numbers of people of color in Southern Oregon. And I don't think the door's going to shut, and that they're going to stop, and that's it. They're going to keep coming. Why? This is a wonderful place to live. You have 4 seasons. They're wonderful. And there are friendly people, welcoming people here in the state, and especially here in Southern Oregon.
I think it's important that we appreciate what it means to have each other, as people, and what we want and what we hope for. That we need to talk to each other about it and see what we can all do together.
And everybody out there with problems and issues, one thing you must cling to, it is hope. And never, ever go in such deep depression that you forget what gives you joy. Make that joy list, put it on the fridge, bathroom window, somewhere. So that when you can't think because you're so down and out, look at your list and do something that gives you joy.